There are 22 modifiers in Squad Busters, so here's how each of them work and each modifier's best characters, so you can take full advantage of them to get those win streaks. Starting in the green world, we have Double Trouble. Every character you get in the chest, it's doubled. So getting fusion would be way easier here. Characters with stackable abilities will benefit a lot here, like the Barb King and the Archer Queen with their extra attack speed, or Max making your squad zoom, or Nita spawning 2 bruises, or even Barbarian in his super form, because they would turn into elite immediately. But you don't want to pick characters that realistically only need 1 copy, like Mavis or Greg or Goblin, because getting that extra 1 wouldn't be that useful anyway. Then we have Loot Goblins. Goblins have 1500 HP, same as the Caged Goblin, and every minute about 12 goblins spawn from the middle gem mine, and a literal swarm comes out at the 60-second mark. They run very quickly, but they're definitely worth chasing because they drop around 10 coins and 5 gems. And what's so special about them is that they also drop 1 coin and gem sometimes every time they get damaged. So dealing chip damage to them will get you way more loot than, for example, 2-shotting them. So this really benefits Pam or Colt units who unload their attacks over a period of time, instead of single projectile units. And obviously, units who speed up the squad are obviously clear choices here, and characters that can stun will also help to stop the goblins from running around, like the El Primo or Shelly. Then we have the Pinata Party. Each Pinata has 600 HP, which is less than every character, and they drop around 3 coins and 2 gems when destroyed. They'll respawn at random times in the map after destroyed, and every minute a bunch of new Pinatas will appear. They have the same characteristic as Goblins, as in Pinatas will drop either 1 gold or 1 gem every time it gets hit. So Pam and Colt again will be great here, but they won't benefit as much as the Loot Goblin modifier because it doesn't take a lot of shots to kill the Pinatas anyway. Bo actually doesn't deal extra damage to these Pinatas, even though they are listed as monsters, but they somehow deal extra damage to those blue boxes? That's a bit of Squad Busters logic for you. Oh, and in rare situations, Pinatas can leave a bomb, but they're very avoidable anyway. Then we have Turbo Overload. The name is quite self-explanatory. You also get 3 turbos at the start. Max is great here because her speed boost stacks with the boots, so you can go incredibly fast. I wouldn't use the chicken though, because that 1 extra boost you get would barely make a difference. The best character here though is definitely Hog Rider, because his classic and super abilities makes the turbo last longer and charge faster, so you will get the most out of those boots. Then we have Tree Giants. 2 of them will spawn at the middle at the beginning, and they'll respawn within like 30 seconds after defeated. They got 12,000 HP, which is a bit more than the Kaiju, and they got 4 different attacks. And it actually has a pattern. So first he attacks in a straight line with these wooden spikes for 2 times, and then the spikes turn into a circular shape, and then he summons vines? Are those even vines? Well, 5 of them just span out for like 2 seconds, and then at the end a gigantic spike comes up and it actually leaves 3 gems, and then the cycle repeats. But here's the juicy part. They can drop 50 to 55 gems when killed. So range characters will definitely have an easier time against them because the circular spikes and the fine thingies are hard to avoid up close. And Bo obviously is especially good. Then we have Gem Overload, where everything drops gems. And I do mean everything. This is the modifier where you gotta kill even the skeletons or the mouse bots because they give you 1 to 2 gems and those stack up. So I wouldn't use any suppliers in this mode, namely Greg, Maisie, and especially the Trader. Just prioritize killing the most monsters, and you can sometimes even discover hidden gems inside grass. So Hog Rider would be great here to scout those bushes. Then we have Spell Overload. Again, self-explanatory name. One tip I have is that if you see a cannon, grab it and just place it down if you see another spell, even if the position isn't great. So imagine if there's just a bunch of $100 bills in the street. You grab as much as you can, but your small bag is already filled to the brim with money. What you want to do is to grab those extra money and just throw them into a conveniently placed fire pit so nobody else can get those money. That's essentially what we're doing in Squad Busters. Kid from the game, yeah! So, cycle your cannons, or furnaces too if you somehow already have that. And throw any extra bombs towards trees to open them up to get those resources as well. Which means, don't use Greg here. One unit especially good here is the Wizard. The classic form gives him an extra spell slot, and that's super handy for spell management here. Last but not least, we have Fusion Start. Guess what? Self-explanatory name. Nothing changes in this modifier except the beginning, but there's like a 1 second window before your free characters fuse. So Chicken and Goblin are especially good because you're getting quadruple the gold or the turbo, free from each of the units and 1 from the fusion. Bruce doesn't work though, which is quite a shame. But if you're at a higher level, you're going to be facing more and more complicated modifiers that you need to master. So here's everything you need to know about the Desert World modifiers and how you can take the most advantage out of them.